Hey everyone, and welcome. Imagine just stepping out your back door and plucking fresh, crisp okra right from your garden, bringing vibrant life and nutrition straight to your table. Well, today we're exploring exactly how to grow Abelmoschus esculentus, which thankfully is much better known as okra. Whether you're a seasoned gardening enthusiast or a total beginner looking to add a really resilient, high-yielding crop to your plot, this explainer is going to guide you through every single step to make sure you get a massive, delicious harvest.
But hey, before we actually get our hands dirty in the soil, I've got a quick trivia question for you. What do Southern gumbo, Thomas Jefferson, and a coffee substitute have in common? The answer to all three is okra. Seriously, this plant has an incredibly rich history. It traces its origins all the way back to South Asia, West Africa, and Ethiopia. It was actually grown by Thomas Jefferson in his vegetable gardens over at Monticello. It's obviously the essential ingredient in Southern gumbo, and historically, its mature, roasted seeds have even been ground up and used as a coffee substitute. Okra is just remarkably diverse, and today, we're going to learn exactly how to cultivate it.
So, here is our game plan for today's explainer. 1. Meet the okra plant. 2. Preparation and planting. 3. Care and pest control. 4. Harvesting and uses. And finally, 5. Saving seeds for later. Let's dive right in.
Starting off with Section 1, meet the okra plant. And trust me, this thing is a true garden powerhouse.
Get this. As a member of the mallow family, meaning it's actually related to hibiscus and cotton, okra grows tall, sometimes shooting up to 6 feet, and produces absolutely stunning ornamental flowers. Plus, it packs a massive nutritional punch of fiber, folate, and vitamins A and C. This also brings us to a big vocabulary word you might have heard associated with this plant, mucilaginous. It literally means a viscous or gelatinous texture. Now, I know some people call it slime, but let's bust that myth right here, right now. This texture isn't a flaw, it's a culinary superpower. It is the exact botanical reason why okra acts as a brilliant, totally natural thickening agent in stews, soups, and famously, gumbo. Once you learn to embrace the mucilage, a whole new world of cooking just opens right up.
Moving right along to Section 2, preparation and planting. Let's lay that groundwork.
Listen, if there's one thing you remember from this, it's that okra absolutely loves the heat. It just hates the cold, so you only want to plant when your soil temperatures are consistently above 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. When it is finally time, the most crucial step is how you actually handle the seeds. You see, okra seeds are notorious for having this really tough, stubborn outer coat that makes germination super frustrating. But here is the insider protocol to bypass that headache completely. First, just gently nick that hard seed coat. Second, and this is the real secret, soak those seeds overnight in warm water. Third, sow them about ½ inch deep in full, direct sun. And fourth, once they finally sprout, thin the plants out so they're spaced about 12 to 18 inches apart, which gives them plenty of room to branch out and thrive. Now, how you actually plant these guys totally depends on where you live. Your specific climate dictates your strategy. If you live in a warm climate with a nice long summer, direct sowing right into the garden is definitely your best bet, mainly because it completely avoids root disturbance. However, if you're up in a cold climate with a short growing season, starting your seeds indoors as transplants gives you a necessary head start. But notice the big caveat here. You must use biodegradable peat pots. And why the biodegradable pots? 2 words, transplant shock. Okra roots absolutely despise being disturbed. If you pull a seedling out of a standard plastic tray and disrupt its taproot, the plant is going to suffer severe stress. It'll stop growing, look incredibly droopy and sad for days, or honestly, it might even die. By using biodegradable pots, you just plant the entire pot directly into the warm outdoor soil, completely avoiding that root disturbance.
Now, for my northern gardeners out there who might be stressing about that heat requirement, don't worry. I've got some incredibly clever research-backed hacks from the University of Saskatchewan and the UK's Royal Horticultural Society. You can literally cheat the cold by pre-warming your soil with clear plastic weeks before you even plant. You can also use wall of water transplant sleeves to create little mini greenhouses, plant your okra in dark plastic mulch to absorb the sun's heat, or even just use old cut-up milk cartons to protect those young, tender seedlings from harsh cold winds.
All right, on to Section 3, care and pest control. Time to defend that crop.
So while okra is famously drought tolerant once it gets established, you still want to ensure it gets about an inch of water a week for the absolute best yield, especially during the critical flowering and pod setting phases. And to naturally defend those pods once they appear, companion planting is fantastic. You definitely do want to plant okra alongside basil, marigolds, or nasturtiums, which naturally deter pests. However, do not plant okra anywhere near nightshades like tomatoes, potatoes, or eggplants. They attract the exact same pests, and planting them all together just creates a giant shared buffet for hungry bugs. You definitely don't want that. Now, if pests like aphids do crash the party, you've got to check out these surprisingly effective, totally organic folk remedies from a Bulgarian agricultural source. You can actually spray the plants with cheap vodka, apply a hot pepper spray, brew up a pinecone tea, or just use a simple household soap mixture. But guys, the absolute golden rule here is that last bullet point: target the ants. Ants actually farm aphids for their sweet secretions, and they literally spread them around your garden. So stopping the ants is the real key to stopping the aphids.
Next up, Section 4, Harvesting and Uses. This is where we finally reap the rewards.
This is honestly the most rewarding phase because okra is what we call a cut-and-come-again crop. The more you harvest, the more flowers the plant produces, meaning it literally thrives on frequent picking. And I really need you to commit this number to memory right now. 2 to 4. That is the magic window in inches. You absolutely must harvest your okra pods every day or two when they are exactly 2 to 4 inches long. If you wait too long and let them get bigger, I'm telling you, they turn into tough, stringy, inedible wood in a matter of hours. Pick them small and pick them often.
But wait, quick pro tip before you run out there and start picking for your first harvest: always, always wear gloves and long sleeves. Many okra varieties, even the ones labeled spineless, have these tiny, fine hairs on their leaves and pods that can cause a really annoying, itchy rash on your bare skin. Trust me, don't let a prickly surprise ruin your harvest day. Gear up!
So what happens if life gets busy and you miss a day, and those pods just get huge? Well, don't throw them away. Okra naturally falls into different grades. The small 2 to 4 inch ones are what we call extra fancy, and they are perfect for your gumbo or for frying. Choice grade pods are a bit larger but still totally edible. But those massive woody pods we talked about, they just become feed grade. Chickens and cows absolutely love eating the tough pods and the foliage, providing great nutritional benefits to your livestock with zero waste. It's a win-win. Finally, bringing us to Section 5, saving seeds and troubleshooting. If you want to play the long game and literally never buy okra seeds again, you've got to have a little patience. While you're busy eating the fresh 2-inch pods, to save seeds, you actually have to let a few pods just stay on the plant. You must let them grow huge, fully dry out, and literally begin to crack open while still on the vine. Only then do you remove the seeds, air dry them on a counter for a few days, and store them in an airtight jar in the fridge for next year. It's legacy planning at its finest. Okay, let's talk about a classic beginner panic moment you might run into. You go out to your garden one morning and you see your okra leaves and stems just oozing these clear drops of liquid. Is it a disease? Is it a crazy pest? The answer is, take a deep breath. It is a completely natural, harmless, glandular secretion from the plant itself. It's totally fine, completely normal, and it just means your plant is healthy. And just to really hammer home a point we made earlier about planting, listen to this insight from the Square Foot gardening community over on Reddit. User Dollivarden says, "I always just direct sow my okra, never had luck with transplanting." This real-world community wisdom perfectly reinforces the danger of that transplant shock we discussed. So again, if you have the climate for it, just direct sow. Okay, let's wrap this whole thing up. We've journeyed through the entire process together. From properly nicking and soaking those stubborn seeds, bypassing the dreaded transplant shock, utilizing some amazing Bulgarian folk remedies to battle those sneaky aphids, all the way to strictly following that golden 2 to 4 inch harvest rule. Now remember, as a quick disclaimer, gardening success can always vary based on your specific regional climate and conditions, so definitely consult local resources if you hit a wall. But overall, you are now fully equipped with the knowledge to grow this amazing plant yourself. Which brings us to our final question for you today. Will you embrace the slime and cultivate this historical, highly resilient garden giant in your own backyard this summer? We'd love to hear about it. Let us know your plans or drop your questions in the comments below. Now get out there, plant some seeds, and let us know how your gumbo tastes.